Welcome to the Engage for More podcast. We're excited that you're joining us today. We exist to encourage you to engage and experience the more that Jesus came to offer you. My name is Pam Pegram, and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Hello, I'm Gwen Neal.
And I'm Kim Ball.
Welcome. Yay.
We are so delighted that you're joining in with us today. So We're talking about how to live a victorious life.
Awesome.
But it doesn't sound like it on the front end because we're going to be talking about the Saboteur of Success through destructive criticism. Ooh. So we got a French word in there, saboteur.
Do tell us.
Okay, that's a person who engages in sabotage.
Yes.
So we've all had an experience growing up, in college, maybe early on the job where someone has criticized you. They've come to you and said, well, this is to help you, but it's destructive criticism. It wasn't constructive at all. And when we use destructive criticism, did you know that's one of the most harmful of all behaviors?
Yes.
It tears down the individual's self-esteem. And even parents, when our kids are little and we're engaging with them, do you know studies show that for every 8 words of stop, no, don't do this, we only use 1 word of encouragement.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Thank God we're older now and we've got time to change it for our grandkids.
But that's so true. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah. So today we want to look at 7 ways or steps that you can follow to ensure that what you are giving is constructive criticism and feedback rather than tearing someone down. And so I'm going to list the 7 right now, and then we're going to talk about them and go into detail. So number 1, you want to protect the individual's self-esteem. Okay. And we're going to pause for a commercial break because I can feel my eyelashes going half off, and we're not going to stop rolling. I'm just going to pull it off because I'm Gwen and I'm self-assured in who I am. All right, so moving on. The second one is we want to focus on the future and not the past when we're correcting someone.
Yes.
Yes.
The third one is focus on the behavior or the performance and not the person.
Oh,
okay.
Good.
Number 4, use I messages to retain ownership of your feelings. Number 5, be clear about what needs to change. A lot of times in our instructions, we can be a little muddy or fuzzy.
Wow.
Number 6, offer to help. And then number 7, assume the best about the other person. So, Gwen, what
you do those things, Gwen.
mean?
I know.
You do those things. Those are who you are.
I have excellent coaches and friends.
I can't wait to dive into this. So we can expound upon
Tell us
some of
more.
these. Yes, do tell us more.
Okay, so what was step 1?
No.
Protect the individual's self-esteem.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So how do we do that?
So what we want to do is treat that person's self-esteem like a balloon.
Okay.
And so that means with our words are the needles.
Okay.
And they have the potential to pop that balloon. So we need to be gentle with our words. Pam was telling us in our last episode to be truthful.
Yes.
To find mentors that's going to hold you accountable, to get yourself a Christian coach.
Yes.
Well, when you're doing all of that as the coach, as the mentor, as the Bible study leader, we can tell the truth.
Yes.
But we can be gentle with it.
Yes. And the Bible says that.
Yes.
Yes, speak the truth with love and be gentle. Like even when you're sharing the gospel, to be gentle.
Yeah.
Not mad because they don't believe what you believe.
Yeah. I can't recall one time where Jesus was angrily witnessing, testifying, correcting the disciples.
Never did.
No, he was gentle in his mannerisms towards them. And our words should be gentle. So when we're redirecting our children from the hot stove, no, don't touch that. darling, you're going to get burned. Hot. No. There's a way to say it. Yes. The three of us can say the same thing,
yes,
but it's how we say it
that's
going to be interpreted.
So
is that person going to be encouraged? Are they going to feel empowered? Are their self-esteem, are they going to feel so low about them just because the way we approach them?
Yes, that's so good.
Okay. Step 2. Who has that one?
Focus on the future, not the past.
Yeah. So what we want to do when we're providing constructive criticism here is not to cry over spilled milk.
No.
They've done it. The milk is on the floor. You spilled that milk. Why did you get that out of the refrigerator? You knew it was too heavy. Why? No, it's there. Clean it up. Talk about what do we do from here? How do we move forward? Use words like next time, just ask mama to come help you get it up out of the refrigerator. Next time, if you need help with this parent and hosting a conference, talk to me first and I can give you some key points instead of rehashing and hitting them over the head with what they've done. Use words like next time or why don't you, give them hope for there's going to be a next time, and next time you're going to be victorious. You're going to win. You're going to be successful.
Yeah. What about just an everyday conversation? Like, how can we focus on like if someone is saying something and you feel like you need to address what they're saying, but you're not their boss, you're not their mama. Like, how can we focus on the future and not the past?
Okay. And so if they're coming to you and they're sharing this with you, the way to propel them forward is just like Jesus does with us. There's an end game here. We're going to heaven. That's the end game. The end game for that individual may be, okay, you're in a hard spot now. Yes, your husband did do XYZ last night, but today is a new day. How can we be the wife or the woman or the girlfriend that he needs to propel him further?
Love it.
Yeah. So
good
we
answer.
give examples that point to the future
Yes.
and hope and
So
empowerment and not to the mistake.
That is so
Awesome.
good.
Okay,
That is
yay,
life-giving.
Jesus.
I love that.
All
I
right.
love it. All right.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is to focus on the behavior or the performance, not the person.
Right.
Okay.
So how many times do we say, that was so stupid? You are so stupid.
That's a bad word.
It is a bad word.
Once you're a grandmother, you can't use that as a word anymore.
Yes. So what we want to do is focus on the performance, not the person.
Yes.
Replace the word you with the description of the problem. So instead of saying you are not teaching this the right way, you can say your lesson plans are not detailed and content focused. So if you change the writing and you write everything out, you write out your objective, you write out the skill, you write out what you're going to have the students do, what you're going to do for that one child who is not on par with the other students, then your lesson is going to be effective.
So good.
So you don't dwell on the person, you dwell on the action, the performance, what it is they need to do.
I love that because now she's not the problem. Her lesson plan just needs a little help.
Yes.
So good, Gwen. I love it.
I love this.
All right. So in step number 4, what are we saying?
Use I messages to retain ownership of your feelings.
All right. So instead of saying, you make me sick, you are getting on my last.
Why can't I say that?
Instead,
Do I say I make myself sick? Is that no. I am getting on my last nerve. No, I'm kidding.
I feel sick when you do such and such, or I feel angry, or I am not happy about this situation, and I would like to discuss how we can change it.
Gotcha.
Oh, so good. Yes.
So we're not projecting, and I only know this because I walked the other side of it.
Yeah.
Of thinking I was helping, and really what I was doing was getting it off my chest and blaming them, or the other person, and making them feel bad. That does not lead to corrective action of what we want to see.
Ooh, love that.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
So then we go into step 5.
be clear about what needs to change.
Okay. You know, when you get in these conversations, you're one-on-one with someone and they have messed up, or you have expectations and you're fuzzy about it. You hem and haw around and you don't get to the point.
Yes.
Does anything come to mind, ladies? Any conversations that you have had in the past? And for me, I mean, it's like all the time. I go all the way around the globe. And then I get to the point.
I'm probably too direct. Like, reel it in.
Yes. And so what we need to do is make sure there's a clear agreement on what is to change.
Yes.
And when and by how much. Be specific and as future oriented and solution based. So if I am the seasoned teacher back, when I was in the classroom or even as a college professor, okay, so if the lesson doesn't go well, it's not the fault of my student. And I go back to what I know, teaching. That's all I know.
Sure.
So it's with me. So I would tell myself, or the mentor, the lead teacher, or if I'm mentoring a younger or a new teacher, this is what you need to do.
Right.
First of all, your lesson plans need to be as detailed as possible. You can't start this morning. You should have started yesterday before you left. And I just broke one of my own rules, dwelling on the past. What we're going to do now is start today after school. Instead of getting my lunch bag and my purse and running to the car, I'm going to spend 15, 20 minutes here in the classroom, setting the tone, setting the environment so my kids are successful.
Yes.
Well, what does that look like? That looks like I'm going to have all the materials out and ready.
Yes.
If I've got 24 students, I'm going to have 25 items, because you never know when that next student is popping in, or a principal. If I'm talking about math and we're doing measurements, well, I'm going to have the rulers laid out. I'm going to have items set up for my kids to measure. I'm going to already have my groups determined. So I know that I've got a really high functioning student, maybe an average student, and then that low functioning student, where they can all glean from one another and nobody feels superior or inferior. I'm going to make sure I've got out my assessments. How am I going to gauge that they have grasped this lesson? What will I be doing? Sitting at my desk, checking my text messages? No.
Yes.
I'm going to be walking around from group to group, helping them. And so if I've got all this laid out Tuesday, Wednesday morning when I walk in the classroom, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yes.
I'm setting myself up for success and my students up for success as well.
That's so smart, Gwen, because I mean, if you do any kind of research on how to be the most efficient with your time, you're going to find the night before you should prepare for the next day, and plan out what's going on, know what you're going to wear, kind of already have the materials, you need to be thinking ahead.
That's right.
Yes. And so that's so important, no matter what you do as a profession, to plan ahead and to do things that make life a little bit easier for you.
Yes. That's right. That's
for sure.
Right. I had to be at work like super early the other morning, and so I knew this, and so I put out all my clothes, accessories. I had my bag by the door. I had my lunch bag on top of the counter, so that I set myself up for success.
Yes.
Yeah, it worked out for the most part.
Oh, no.
It's not always perfect, but that's not what we're striving for, right?
That's right.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so are we on number 6?
We are on number 6.
Offer to help.
I love this one.
So when we're in a coaching situation, or we're the manager at a department store, or we're the women's ministry leader, or we're leading Bible study, offer to help. We shouldn't just leave it up to the individual to figure it out on their own. The best teachers model the behaviors they expect. Let's go straight to the Bible.
Yes.
Jesus. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Yes.
What do we see him doing all throughout the Gospels? Serving others.
Yes.
Washing feet. walking, ministering to those who he probably shouldn't have even been talking to because of who he was or his status as a Jew or even a man.
Right.
But we find him modeling it.
Yes.
Modeling the behavior he expects from us. So we ask ourselves, how can I help this individual come up to the level that I need them to be at? Well, how can I help you? Let me walk alongside you, as I love to hear Kim say, and help you in this situation. Are you struggling with money? You don't know how to budget. Well, let me sit down with you and let's create a budget. We're going to put everything in our Excel sheet. Don't just say, you need to budget.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to stop spending money. As a dear friend of mine said, this is not your shoe and purse money. I won't call any names, only people on YouTube know.
Is this a good time to use the pronoun we?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Like, here's what we are going to do.
Yes. Ooh. And then it makes that other person feel less alone.
Yes.
Oh, she's in this with me.
I love that.
Yeah. We're in this
So you don't feel
together.
like you're in it by yourself. You don't feel overwhelmed. You feel like
and now you haven't like separated yourself from that person. Like, I'm getting home to you, or I'm correcting you, or offering you this feedback, and they're immediately offended, and y'all are separate.
That's so good.
So we would like reunite.
That's right. Absolutely.
That is really good.
And I just thought of the song, Reunited, and it feels so good.
We're old, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be prepared to show that person what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
We all have different learning styles. And so now that brings us to number 7.
Assume the best about the other person.
Okay. Don't just think, a story. In the early stages of our marriage, my husband and I were in Illinois visiting my side of the family, my dad's side, and he had gotten an ink stain on his jeans because he had a pen in his pocket, and I was going in hard on him. Oh my God, how could you do that? Why are you carrying a pen? Yeah. And there was an older gentleman there, and what he said was, he didn't mean to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't his intention.
To color himself with
right.
Yeah.
And I have never forgotten that lesson. And so assume the other person wants to do a good job.
Yes.
And that if she has done a poor job or made a mistake, it was not deliberate. The problem may be due to limited skill, incomplete information, or some kind of misunderstanding. But their intent was not to do the wrong thing. Right. Their intent was not to mess up.
Yes.
And so assume that the person wants to do a good job, because we all want to do a good job, do we not?
Right. That's right.
We all want to do what's
for sure.
right. And so if we consider these 7 steps, this will keep us from being that disgruntled person, that person that is negative. I hate a negative Nancy. We're meant to be encouraging. We should be living victorious lives, and we should be equipping our sisters and brothers to live a victorious life, even when we have to offer them constructive criticism.
Yes.
And so I have lost my notes on the summary in regards to these 7 steps of making sure that we're not sabotaging the success through destructive criticism. And so we want to be patient. We want to be calm. We want to be attentive. We want to be hands-on and encouraging. And there are times when the phone will ring out of
Sorry
nowhere.
about that.
And so she said, I'm sorry.
Turn that phone off.
Sorry. That's right. Well, it is off.
Let's practice that.
It's the override.
That's what we're going to do next time.
I know.
Is we are going to shut our phones off.
Our phones will be on
It is my one family member that has the
In the
override.
future.
Sorry.
And so
It wasn't your fault. It was the phone's fault.
That's right. It is. It's a
See
phone's
how
fault.
we can apply these immediately.
We're going to project fault to something else. Yes.
So our call to action for this week, guys, is to practice on 3 people and let us know the outcome. Send it to us in notes or text us or email us at engageformore.com. But choose someone in your family, someone in your inner circle, and someone on your job to practice using constructive criticism instead of sabotaging them. You want to set them up for success.
Yes. Thank you so
good.
much for joining us today. We would love for you to like and share this episode with a friend or someone you work with. So please go and like and even take time to leave a review. That would be wonderful. Reviews are so great to us and they let us know what you love to hear. And so write a review and we would love to hear from you.